I'm Jillianna Brown, and this is my audience.
Don't forget me.
Oh, I don't want to get my nose back in there again.
Okay, so my name is Jillianna Brown, and I will be doing my speech on job creation and how we can work toward making more jobs for ourselves and all of the unemployed people of the world, because there are a lot. Lawrence A. Summers, director of the White House National Economic Council, says 40 years ago, quote, this is a quote, 40 years ago, 1 in 20 men between the ages of 25 and 54 was not working at a given point in time. Today, the number is 1 in 5. That's from CQ researchers on a Job Outlook article, and I'm sure all of us have at some point been affected by the recession that they claim we're not having. Well, I know that my personal family has been affected a lot by it. My mom has gone through an entire year of unemployment and has had to go back to active duty after the September 11th attacks and lost her job because of that. So, a lot of things have been happening since 2000, and I am going to go over some of the issues, how it started and why, and what's happening right now to promote change, and then what we can do to make the process better for our government. So, first off, we want to first look at the root of the problem. So this is a lot, but I found this really great website on Facts on File that broke down how the recession started and everything. So I'm going to try my best to explain it to you. So, first of all, you have to remember how great the economy was back in the Clinton administration. I know a lot of us were, in elementary school, but, there's a significant difference between now and then. And according to Facts on File, during the 1990s, the U.S. enjoyed strong economic growth because of the dot-com companies. I was only in elementary school, but I remember, a lot of the, companies coming out, and, business was great. So, although the internet-based companies found a lot of success, a lot of them drew profits, some businesses were constructed on bad models and failed. So, in turn, by 2000, the dot-com era had pretty much come to an end. And by March 2001, the economic slowdown had turned into pretty much a full recession. So unemployment increased, and this was followed by a series of unfortunate events I'm sure we're all familiar with. Starting off with September 11th, the attack on the World Trade Center, which made a lot of people lose their jobs up in New York, and a lot of international companies were affected by that. And then right after that, in 2005, we had Hurricane Katrina, which left people not only jobless but also homeless. This was followed by 1 year after that, our housing market coming to a peak in September of 2006. So whenever that happens, right after that, the house prices go down. So the house prices are going down, and the mortgage companies are giving all of these home buyers adjustable rate mortgages, which look really good at first because you think you can adjust your interest rate later. But what happened was they ended up, the housing market didn't get better, and people weren't able to pay their mortgages, and banks started forcing people out of their homes, and a lot of homes went up for foreclosure. So this led to a decrease in home construction industry because there were all these vacant houses everywhere, so no one needed to build more houses. And then there was also a decrease in consumer confidence and personal spending, which is a quote that I distinctly remember after my first year of Black Friday shopping, which was in 2007. So, I mean, I remember all of this. It's really, interesting to look back and actually know what was going on back then. Um, so, in 2007, the holiday season had a lower spending, and the economic growth rate went down to less than 1%. And the Federal Reserve in 2008 tried cutting interest rates twice with big companies. Didn't work. Bush signed a $158 billion economic stimulus bill that offered us $600 checks.
Yeah.
Which y'all remember that, right? I was real excited about that. We got
Forgot all about that.
yeah. That wasn't that long ago, right? That was just like right when we were, just starting to start paying our taxes, do our own taxes and stuff. So, y'all remember that. So apparently that wasn't enough. And then in March in 2008, the Department of Labor released a report saying that some 63,000 jobs have been eliminated in the previous month of February. So, even though during the Bush administration we found a way to kind of stay resilient and stay afloat, they were still admitting that we weren't in a recession. So by 2009, the unemployment rate was above 10%, which is like really, really bad. It hasn't been that high since pretty much the Depression. So, after that, the we moved on to a new president who promised us change. That was his thing, we can. And then, so, as soon as President Obama came into office, he offered an economic stimulus package that would help curb job loss, which is a little different from what Obama was trying to do. Bush. So in February 2009, he signed a bill resulting in billions of dollars in tax cuts for individuals and businesses, and it also funded many projects that would rebuild and update the nation's infrastructure. So after that, he did the HIRE Act, which is a big bulk of how the government's helping us right now with the job creation. So first, the bill requires companies hire new workers who've been jobless for at least 60 days. And they also get a $1,000 tax credit for any employee employed over a year. It also gives a $250,000 tax deduction for equipment, which usually would be expended over years, but since it's so big, they can put it all in one tax year. And it would promote highway safety and improving roads, which is really annoying for us because there seems like there's construction everywhere. But in the long run, it would be good, and it's creating jobs. So, in conclusion, Congress is doing a lot to help us, but at the same time, there's still more that we could be doing. We need to be, sending letters to President Obama. He's trying, but, he has to get these congressmen on his side too. So, there's a lot of things we can do, and there's a lot of things that have led up to this, but we're not in the hole yet. So, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy.
Thank you. I'm so sorry I kept coughing. I'm gonna go